And hello there, all you Stay Tuners. Welcome back to another episode of Stay Tuned Sports. It's our Memorial Day weekend show. And guess who we have back on the show?
What's up, everybody?
Well, we got Juan. Juan, can you please tell Shoulders we're live?
Oh, sure. Hold on, Senor. Hey, Shoulders, it's time to get on the show. What? We haven't recorded in like 2 weeks. Tell him I'm coming. Okay, sir.
Jeez,
He is coming, senor.
He just always is late, isn't he?
No, like every girlfriend's period. Jesus, we're coming on. Oh, what's up, guys?
Thank you for joining us finally.
Hey,
Jeez.
what can I say, you know?
How you been, buddy?
Good, yourself?
Pretty good. Very busy with work and kid baseball. And
Yeah, I've been coaching like crazy. We had 3 games in a row last weekend.
Yeah.
And that's why I couldn't be on the show. Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. 3 games in a row.
So basically, you're a bitch because MLB players do double headers. They don't.
Right.
They don't
I
cry
got
about
7 and 8 year olds, so bite me. What I will say
MLB
is this.
players are 7 and 8 year olds.
What I will say is this: not only did we beat the best team in our division, we beat the second best, and we went 3-0. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. 3-0.
Now, was it because of you or was it because of the players? Because I mean, if you ask like McNabb,
Right. Well,
yeah,
it was because of the players and me. It's a combined effort. I train them; they play. You can teach a horse how to drink, but McNabb would drown.
Yeah, our old boy McNabb is back in the news again, opening his freaking chunky soup mouth.
Hey, that's your boy. You can't diss him.
Says he's
Hey, man, why you always gotta be dissing me, man?
which we did tag
No.
McNabb in the show and he never responded to
Right,
us.
because I am way too busy for your little podcast, okay? I am Donovan effing McNabb.
Yeah, so he says he believes he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, which I've always said he is. Not a first ballot, but on you, okay?
Yeah, do it right.
I do
I
raspberries.
agree, senor. He sucks. He's the caca.
But he also said that he believes he's better than Troy Aikman, which got me thinking too. And maybe I'm being biased because
Yeah, you can go first because this is nuts.
because I'm a McNabb fan and I hate Dallas.
Hate the Cowboys, and I'm about to defend this. This is crazy. Go ahead.
Why do you think Aikman's better? Just because of Super Bowls?
Absolute. What do you mean? Just because of the
Super Bowls are won by a team, not an individual. There's always 11 players
Right.
on the field,
Right.
not
Okay.
one player.
Right.
Take
And how many times?
Take the Super Bowl
How many times
championships out of it. Just passing stats.
Right.
running-
Oh, he kills them.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he does, and his win record. And he
No.
didn't throw up in any Super Bowl.
Well, that's because he was always on his back.
But I hate concussion, Aikman. Well, hate's a strong word. Here we go again. But, dude, are you kidding me? And how do you mean take the championships out of it? Get the fuck out
Because
of
it's not 11 defensemen and one player, offensive player. It's 11 defensive players, 11 offensive players. You take the offensive line away, quarterback's on his
Right,
ass the
so
whole game.
McNabb take out of that has 0 with a team that he should have won fucking 5 with.
T.O. was the problem for 2 of them.
He went once and lost.
I'm trying to make a case.
Well, make a case for what? You can't make a case just because you want to make a case. He's a fucktard.
I believe it was 2 weeks ago that I got you
hate
fired up with
Concussion
McNabb.
I hate Concussion King Aikman in the sense of a football player. You know, he still can't even talk. He sounds like... I'm not even going to diss Rocky Balboa.
Do you think he's always drunk or high? Because you ever see his eyes, man? They're freaking bloodshot.
Right, well, he's probably on shit ton of painkillers.
Speaking of being high, Chris Long taking some crap also. He retired this past week after 11 years, which, congratulations, good career. And came out the next day and said, yeah, I smoked weed every day.
Yeah, I think it's bullshit. I think that's an agenda that he wanted to push to let them, because he's all about players and community. I say bullshit because how does he fail the test?
That's
You
true.
don't.
That's true.
That shit's in your system for over 30 days.
Now, I bring this up because I did want to get your opinion on the whole NFL.
I mean, he wasn't feeling. Maybe he got oregano. He doesn't even know what he was smoking. I don't know.
But, like, what is your opinion on the whole...
Goddamn, this pizza tastes great. Is that oregano? That tastes better than regular oregano.
What's your opinion on the whole weed should be legal in the NFL?
It's tough. I think it's coming to a point where it's going to be legal everywhere. I've seen some absolute medical effects in the positive. But I also know that there's a lot of negatives. Just like alcohol. Like, listen.
Speaking of which, what are you drinking today?
I'm drinking Leinenkugel. Leinenkugel.
Dude, you only had like a sip and you already...
I didn't even drink it yet. I just took a sniff. Summer Shandy. It's my favorite beer on the planet. Call me a girl. Call me what you want. I think it's a perfect taste of real beer with just a hint of summer jizzness. I don't know. Every time I drink it, I want to go touch the old lady.
But yeah.
I love their orange shandy, too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what the hell we were talking about now.
We were talking about weed with NFL.
Right. Like, just alcohol alone, you know. Some people, for instance, you and I can drink. We don't get angry. We don't get rude. We don't get mean. We don't beat up our wives or kick them in the elevator. You know, we don't drive drunk and crash into people. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I met people that drunk, they drive 20 times better.
Yeah.
It's a rarity.
Yeah.
But that's that type of people.
Now, we're not saying for you guys to go try that either.
No. What I'm saying is it reacts to everybody differently.
Yeah.
I will tell you from experience that I had an incident with a person that was acting like they were on PCP.
Okay.
Unstoppable. Pain, everything. And it comes to find, and I've seen the toxicology report, that it was just marijuana. You have to understand, I could take a Tylenol, you can take a Tylenol. It could work like Vicodin for me. You can tell me you can eat 25 and won't do shit for you.
Yeah.
Everything reacts to everybody differently. I'm all for it for people that need to, you know, cancer patients, people with pain. I think it's a lot better than opiates.
Well, yeah. And you know what? Like, I think it was about a month ago I read a story.
I wasn't done talking.
Ooh, I'm sorry. Well, you know, you've been gone for 2 weeks, so you probably do have a lot of stuff to talk about here.
I just think there's benefits and cons. I think it's coming to that. But again, you're getting paid millions of dollars. It kind of makes me a hypocrite because you're supposed to be a role model.
Yeah.
Now,
and
I think if you're gonna, and they do allow it, you cannot be seen in public whatsoever. It can't be known. You can't be an advocate. You do it because you're in pain or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And like that's what I was about to say was I read a story about a month ago, and it was a anonymous hockey player. They want
Anonymous?
They want to give his name that said, you know, after the game, I smoke weed just to bring myself back down from the adrenaline rush.
You mean the coke he snorted before he fucking went on the ice?
Probably that too.
Dude, I ain't gonna kid. Like, I love hockey. I love hockey players.
Yeah.
But they're party boys.
Oh well, yeah. I mean,
A lot, and I'm not saying there's not a lot that don't, but there's a lot that do cocaine and marijuana.
Yeah.
But the problem is we don't hear about it.
Yeah.
Great. You know, I don't. Again, it's like steroids to me. Entertain me.
Yeah.
If you need that, I mean, Daryl Strawberry did it for years.
Yeah.
I mean,
And see, and I'm okay. I'm probably one that will agree that NFL should kind of quote unquote get with the times now and let it, you know, stop testing for it, except for game day. Figure out a way that you could test for weed game day, whether it's
what's it going to do game day? It's going to make them play worse.
But that's when I think you would get injured during a game. Because
I don't think you'll get injured. I think if you're already mask in pain, and if you don't think for a minute they're juicing people with shit in their knees and stuff every game, and they're not doing more damage, they're not for the player. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
You know, it's a two-sided story. You have to be fair and impartial. This is a tough decision.
No, it is.
So,
and I think this whole topic will get settled within the next year and a half because they are starting to talk, the NFL and the union, about the collective bargaining agreement.
right. Well, here's my plight. Like, what if You know, we talk about this with every profession. Professions can still ban it. But if it becomes legal in your state on top of it, like how are you...
Yeah, that's
Or
one
what if
of
they
them.
get a medical marijuana card?
That's one of
Legitimately,
the-
a doctor signs and says, like, listen, it's not enhancing him. He's had 55 concussions and a broken knee, and his back's fucked.
Yeah,
You know,
that's one of the biggest
I don't wanna-
stances I see.
I don't want to deny somebody a quality of life and then turn into Brett Favre. I love him,
Yeah,
but he was fucking eating Vicodin like you wouldn't believe because of the pain.
but
Then
wouldn't
it became...
this kind of help stop that part of it
Depends. It all depends.
on the whole reaction to that player?
Every player's different.
Yeah,
I can't tell you a yes on everything because I'm telling you, I've seen it.
yeah,
Jimbo, just between us, we know right now that you can drink 10 of those and you're going to act different than if I drink 10 of those.
yeah.
But we're not mean people, but there's still differences.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody reacts to every chemical different.
Okay.
So it's tough to do the greater good, but then still have people... And then you weigh the 50% of people... We'll just make it simple. 50% act like idiots, and 50% it improves their quality of life so much that it's unreal.
Yeah.
Where do we draw the line? Does it have to be 51-49? Does we have to see there's only 20% of the population going to be more aggressive? I don't know, man. They're putting shit in our food. Don't get me started down that shit. I'll sound like a conspiracy theorist, you know. But chemicals are chemicals, man. I think it's safer than opiates. I've had a lot of dealing with opioids, and this carfentanil, trifentanil, and fentanyl is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that can kill people instantly.
Yeah.
And I'd rather people smoke and be pain-free, you know. But, again, I don't want them driving, and
that's...
they have to understand you're still going to get a DUI if you're driving.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that, like I said, I think that'd be part of the collective bargaining agreement. You know, okay, we'll approve of it, but here is the restrictions of what you could do and this and that. But another major story that came out last week, and we wanted to bring it back up because I think it's still kind of fresh. And I think someone just dropped the bong.
No. Pretty sure that was a hockey puck.
Or a football?
No, definitely a hockey puck.
But NCAA looking into, not necessarily, according to them, paying the players, but you're paying them. They're going to put I forget exactly what the quote was, but we're not paying the players, but we're reimbursing them or something like that. Like, they're still getting money.
For what, though? What are they?
So the whole backstory of the NCAA thing was a player in 2009 sued the NCAA for NCAA football game.
Right.
For his likeness. I believe his name was on the back of jersey, played the same position, all that stuff.
Right. Now,
And-
I'll give him the jersey and the name. Time out. Let me take this part by part.
Okay.
But his likeness. Have anybody ever played NCAA? There's
Yes.
It's not like Madden. There's no likeness.
I don't
Get
know.
the hell out of here.
I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's not like Madden with.
So you're not
graphic-wise.
upset that since 2009 or 8, whenever the last one came out, we can't play NCAA double football on a video game because of
Oh, I'm
likeness?
pissed. I'm pissed that we couldn't play. I used to love that game. That's why I'm so
How about
excited
this?
about this.
Either sign we can use your likeness because you're part of the school, or give me your scholarship back.
Well, and that's what some of these players have been doing. There was actually a Notre Dame football player that gave up his scholarship because he had a popular YouTube channel and he was profiting off of that. So if he would have kept the channel, kept the scholarship, he would have been suspended by the NCAA for taking money. Which
Well, that he earned. I don't agree with that.
and that's what this kid
That's
was.
another job. Bullshit.
But that's what
he ain't
this-
taking shit. He's earning it.
Yeah, and that's what this kid sued NCAA over, basically saying, "Well, this was the only way I could do a job." So he won the case. NCAA say, "Well, fine," and they stopped making the games. EA Sports, obviously. But then last week, NCAA came out and said, basically, it is time for us to look into this. We're going to put a team together, and I believe they said by October they're going to have a final say of, okay, we're going to just fix the rules so that we could, I forget exactly what they said, but it's reimbursement.
I say no names. Numbers, same position, I don't give a shit. Bite me.
I say go back to Tecmo Bowl or Super Tecmo Bowl.
QB.
Randall Cunningham.
Those QB Eagles.
Because, like what you just said,
Yeah, you didn't agree.
that's what happened. And New England, or not New England Patriots, I think it was the Cleveland Browns, because Bill Belichick was the head coach at the time, and he was Coach Brown or whatever it was, because he didn't sign it.
If players don't want to agree to have that fame.
Oh, what the rule said to was that, and this is where Johnny Manziel actually got into trouble with, they cannot, when they're in college, they cannot sell autographs or anything like that. And that's also where this came about too, because there were college players using their name for autographs and stuff like that and selling it to make some money, which, again, I guess that would be considered a job because you're playing football and you're trying to sell your name.
See, I don't know. I haven't thought about that much, but I don't see a problem with it. I don't know.
Problem with paying them or not getting paid?
No, for them selling autographs.
Okay, well, and that's the thing. NCAA has a problem with that.
Right. Why, though?
Because I guess maybe you're taking money away from NCAA.
But they have enough.
Well, no, I agree.
They're the best profit for profit.
And I think they're gonna, if they do,
Can't sell. Get the. This is America, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm just curious.
If they do approve of reimbursing, paying whatever they they're gonna call this or whatever.
Right.
I think they're gonna make so much more money because EA Sports already came out and said that if they pay these players, they will be all over back into let's bring the NCAA back, which they already have Kyle Murray on the NCAA 20 cover. They already made the cover. So
I know, but how pissed are you going to be for all those years we didn't have Saquon Barkley in Penn State?
That's why you got to create a player.
Right. So I don't understand. Why can't we just not put any players in it then? And there you go. Just numbers.
But it's also the likeness is what got the courts to go in this kid's favor.
Oh, dude, some of the NFL likenesses aren't even close.
I understand. Well, tell that to the court. Maybe you should become NCAA's
No, maybe
lawyer.
as a nation we stop being a bunch of fucking pussies.
Well, I mean, in the players' defense, they just want what they want. I mean,
Well,
okay,
right, but you're getting paid.
to go to school. So
Right.
and now you're not allowed to take any money, right? So now you just gotta sit around, have no money to.
They get
to buy
meals. They get everything. Housing.
So they can't buy Madden because they have no money, or buy NBA.
Sure, work at the local book club for $5 an hour.
Can't.
What, you can have jobs. You can have
you
schoolwork
cannot.
study programs.
That's the whole problem with this thing. Is that you cannot be taking money in. Even families like that might send out, $50 or whatever to get the kids through the weekend. They have to go through a certain.
I've never heard any of this.
Yeah.
Well, don't accept the scholarship.
And that's what some of these players are doing. Like the Notre Dame
Give
kid.
it to a kid that needs it that won't care. Because you're still talking, in some colleges, up to $200,000 education. So,
Yeah.
if somebody paid my student loans right now, I'll let them use any of my likeness.
Well, there is the settlement. You call NCAA, you call the players, you be the middle guy, and say, listen, use their likenesses, give me the money. Pay my loans off.
No, I don't want. I give it to the players. Something's got to be done. I don't understand. Like, why can't it go into? I don't know. Like, I agree with boosters not buying a Mercedes for a kid so that he plays. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, again, I'm sitting here baffled, but it's tough.
Well, all right. So, what the rule says, NCAA rules forbid athletes in most circumstances from receiving benefits or compensation for uses of their names, images, and likenesses from a school or outside source. And so basically can't...
No commercials or signing autographs.
Or autographs.
So where does that got to do with you can't have a part-time job? That YouTube guy should fight that. And sue.
But would that be... I know it says commercial, like, Lion Kugel commercial, but could that be also...
That's not commercials. Commercials is an endorsement because they don't want their school associated with an endorsement they don't approve. I get it.
Okay.
That's like me and you have this show, okay?
Yeah.
And then we bring in a third commentary, right? And we love it. It works out perfect. And he's a diehard heroin fan and wants Harry's heroin and talks about it all the time.
Yeah.
Well, we're advocating against it.
Yeah.
We don't want our brand represented that way. I can understand that. But what does it have to do with a YouTube channel? That's like my job coming telling me right now I can't get paid for this.
Maybe it's what he's saying on his YouTube channel. Like you said, he might be talking about heroin, and maybe NCAA doesn't like it. So,
right, but he's not trying to sell anything, so I'm saying as far as the commercial.
Okay.
He's endorsing, like us endorsing Leinenkugel busting balls here.
Yeah.
We're actually endorsing it.
Yeah.
We're telling everybody that listens to us we like it.
And, if they are listening, we will take some 12, 24 packs,
Right, I mean, we're easy endorsements. We'll do professional commercials with sound effects. I mean, get in contact with me. BernardPoston@yahoo.com.
No, first go to Twitter.
No.
And give him some followers, which, by the way, I forgot to say that in the beginning. Head over to the show, ST Sports Podcast. Follow us there. Follow me at Jimbo ST Sports. Okay, back to the show.
Shoulders _, bro. Go fuck yourself. Okay. So, I mean, it's tough, man. As far as the video game, let's take it step by step.
Okay.
I think they don't. I think it's bullshit. Don't use their names. You can use their numbers, and if they're a white player, they can be white. If they're black, they can be black. If they have facial hair, they can have facial hair.
But right there, you're starting to go towards the likeness then.
Right, likeness. What is true likeness? We both have facial hair. Do we look anything alike?
No, I look sexier.
Right. In your dreams, grow up. You know what I'm saying? As the players, not you, the player.
Yeah.
Grow up.
But
Or come to an agreement, NCAA, and call it a day.
yeah, and I think that's what's going to happen.
Because they're profiting off them, and they know they are.
Yeah, but they want to.
I guarantee if NCAA said, "Oh, we're going to give your school $1 million for every player," oh, sure, let's do it.
Oh, without doubt, yeah.
Greedy bastards.
And that's the way of the world anymore. No
Well,
matter where you go.
Right, it is. But it's whose interest is at heart? They're still athletes and entertainers.
Yeah. But
So, I mean, I like to play Notre Dame and have Rudy on there.
I'll be honest, I don't take I took Notre Dame once in the NCAA game, and that was when they brought, I think it was like the second to last season, they brought in that you could start off as an offense coordinator and build up into a head coach, and that's what I did. But normally I took Duke,
Right.
just because they were so
Right.
terrible. And my tight end was Big Titty McGee. 6'7", 350 pounds. No one could tackle me.
Yeah, that's likeness. Like Andre the Giant, he's going to sue you. Jesus Christ.
So, one situation that has a certain celebrity not being liked is Mr. Drake, the rapper. Do you even consider him a rapper? Like, a rapper to me is like Eminem, Tupac, Dr. Dre.
He has that one song I like that I could think of.
What,
and that's
Shark
it.
Doo Doo Doody Doo? Or
No.
whatever that one is?
No, it was an old song when he first came out. Forever, man, ever. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, no. You're not helping that one there.
I can't rap.
I mean, so, and I found out today that, like, so the story that's going on
I
is,
got ice in my veins,
the story that's
blood in
going
my
on
eyes.
is Drake has courtside seats at home Toronto Raptor games, and the game the other night, the one player I guess that he does not like for the other team was missing free throws, and he was taking a couple steps onto the court
Right.
and giving the guy shit, and this now, hey, whatever, that's a fan.
Well, no, it's not. And I can see where some people are coming with.
Giving
I don't
shit
have a problem
to him.
with you giving them shit.
Yeah, but you don't step on court.
Right.
And then something else happened, same game. He walked up to the Toronto Raptors head coach
And it was giving them a massage.
and the coach said, "Oh, I didn't even know what was going on." Listen, some dude comes up behind me and rubbing my shoulders. I'm turning around and I'm knocking him the F out.
Listen, if Drake needs that kind of attention to rub the coach's shoulders and be off the court,
Yeah.
fine. The minute he stepped on that court, should have been ejected.
And he should have been taken to jail. That's trespassing. If you okay, hold on. Hear me out, because that's what I was thinking.
I've never seen a fan step on the court accidentally. Or what about Spike Lee then? What about Spike
but
Lee?
it's not
then?
accident.
Nobody's talking about that.
But it's not accidental though. He's literally.
But nobody gets trespassing for that. You get usually disorderly conduct and banned from the stadium.
All right, so disorderly conduct.
Oh, right, but nobody talks about Spike Lee. He's been doing it since the early 80s.
Yeah.
I just watched an old episode
But then again,
when Scottie Pippen dunked over Patrick Ewing. And there was a big thing. And then he came out and he stood up. And he took a step on the court and was screaming at Scottie Pippen.
But when's the last time the Knicks won any playoff games?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, so playoff games don't matter now. But if you win a Super Bowl championship, it matters then.
In this sense, it has nothing to do with any of the players. This is to do with two jerk-offs that think they're more entitled than they deserve to be.
And the problem is, this is what I found out today, is he's a minority owner. He owns 1% of the team. So I guess now he thinks he's entitled. He's like a Mark Cuban or something like that. Even Mark Cuban, you don't see. Does he run on?
He
there's
gets
only
animated.
once or twice. Yeah,
Right.
and I'm okay with you getting anime. I mean, you're being a fan.
But I have to ask. Here's the thing. What's the rules for owners? Can they do that? I don't care if he's 0.5% if he's an owner.
I'm assuming not if this is such an issue because the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Well, you know, like they say, assumptions are like assholes.
Yeah, everybody's got them. But even the Milwaukee Bucks coach, he did say that like the NBA is pretty good with keeping this in check.
Right, and I understand it's something for him to bitch at, but he needs to concentrate more on the games because he's blowing it.
Well, and
they were
he
a
kind
better
of
team.
is like this is more the reporters keep bringing this up, and he even did say, like, okay, I told you guys this yesterday. I've only seen it once or twice, but the way you guys talk to me about it, it seems to be happening more. NBA usually does a better
For me,
job
Drake
of this.
should not step on the court.
No.
Go up to the line, look at the line, lick the line. I don't give a shit what you do.
But and then
He's been a big Toronto advocate, and this has been going on for, I could think at least 6-7 years, man. So
okay, and then
it's not the first time he stood up and made comments. I mean, Jack Nicholson's famous for the Lakers. He doesn't stand up and act like an idiot.
Well, I mean, he's also
Every team
80
has
years
that
old.
one, like, the Knicks, it's Spike Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Philadelphia's, it's us. Still proud of
man.
you, Philly.
Yeah, keep your heads up high.
And I think it was last night or this morning I saw a replay of Charles Barkley, I guess either after the game or a pregame show. They were asking him about this. And I forget which commentator said to him, if you were a player, would this whole Drake thing bother you? He goes, if I'm a player? He goes, no. He goes, I'm okay with it. And I forget what player Barkley said that he played with or whatever. He goes, but, just for example, say it was Michael Jordan. I would tell Michael, hey, throw a pass out of bounds. What? Throw a pass out of bounds. I'll make that fucker earn it. And he said I would go, and he goes, it happened a couple times. I went over, threw an elbow as I'm diving for the ball, knocked the guy down, and look at him and be like, you okay? And never happened again.
I like it.
I'm like,
Go for street justice.
I love Charles Barkley. Everybody gives him shit.
That's just terrible, man.
Especially when him and Shaq get into it, too. They freaking... I really want to know if they hate each other, because when they're on TV, they really sell it.
They need their own
hate.
sports talk show.
Yeah.
You can come on ours.
Hey, yeah, we'll take you as a guest.
We'll even give you your own show 1 day a week.
For free.
Right?
Just means that shoulders rent is going up now.
I'm not going to say I won't be standing behind one of them massaging their shoulders during it.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not okay with it. I think if this is going to start be a trend, with the seats being so close to the court, they got to start roping off. Especially like you see a lot of incidences where two players are going for the ball that's going out of bounds, run right into a crowd, and kids, adults get hurt, whatever.
Well,
I know they're paying a pretty penny too for those seats, so
right. And if you don't think that can happen, and you want to bring your little 6-year-old who's having the time of his life, and then he gets smushed, I don't know. I mean, who's really at fault there?
NBA,
Right.
they should have security guards like shoulders right there.
No, because I'd be in the way, and I wouldn't even be watching. They might be watching the game. Get out of here. I don't understand it. I mean, everybody wants somebody else to be accountable. Whatever.
Well, yeah, especially when it's me picking on the people. I think, everybody's at fault, and I'm always right. Moving on. One of the last stories that we want to talk about tonight, and I saw this story on ESPN about a UCLA women's softball player, and listen, she's cute. I'll give her credit. And
I'll give her my valve. Oh,
hey, that's not funny, man.
What? What are you thinking? I'm talking about my unilateral plumbing valve.
Oh God, I've missed you. Anyways, but the softball player is putting heart surgery off till the end of the season. I guess UCLA's women's softball team.
Captured my heart.
dude, they made movies about Vincent DePauli, and I just actually watched Miracle, the 1980s hockey team. That was actually a really good movie. And not sure, did you just break a string on your guitar? Oh, maybe it was one of my strings. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm fucking scared right now.
Guys, it's been a really effed up week for both of us, so we're waiting for the whole house to crash down on us. But back anyways to the story. Let's get this story done before the whole house does crash on us. So Stevie Wiz?
Sure.
I think that's how you would. It's W-I-S-Z. So I'm gonna say Wheeze.
Wise.
Wise. That's what I thought. Wise, but there's no E. Like Weiss.
Weiss. Wise.
Yeah.
Wise.
Okay. See, that's why I have you on the show to correct me. But ever since she was 1 year old, she had a heart issue, and she got diagnosed with aortic stenosis. Wow. See, beer does work. Makes me sound smarter. And when she what the issue was her aorta was letting blood leak back into her heart, which was making her heart pump twice as hard. When the doctors found out about this, they said, to fix this, they would have to put a pig valve. That's why I was laughing at your joke. Mm-hmm. But at that age, her heart's not fully developed yet. Try to push it off a little bit.
The only valve I got for her would make her heart pump faster.
You would kill her. You'd be the
for
murderer.
Like 30 seconds. That's about it.
Listen, you're being generous now. She dropped her pants. I'm done.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was talking about unilateral plumbing. And
so when she was in fourth grade, she was finally able to have the surgery done and everything. And turned out that was UCLA's medical staff is the one that did the surgery. So she always wanted to give back somehow to UCLA. The article said that she was a mediocre high school softball player. She called UCLA 2-3 different times, asked for tryouts, and these assholes stood her up the 3 times until finally the 4th time, the one coach saw her sitting on steps, and she was sitting on steps. They would tell her, "Yeah, we'll give you a tryout." She would show up and sit there, and no one would show up.
That's wrong.
Yeah, and she even said...
Shame on you, UCLA.
Yeah, and she even said that by the 3rd time, she was like, what am I doing? This is stupid. I was heartbreaking. I put myself through this. Finally, one of the UCLA staff members saw her, said, "Stevie, is that you?" And ended up taking her up to the practice field where they were practicing. Coach put her out there, hitting, running around, tracking balls and everything. And coach said, she was actually not that bad. She's not the greatest, but, she could play. And said they would be in touch. Next day, they invited her to be a practice player. Not necessarily be on a team, I guess, kind of like what the NFL has. And she said, sure, fine. Just give me a chance.
Right.
One day... it was like 2 days before a Bruins game. 3 or 4 of the players got food poisoning. And I just thought about this with your conspiracy theory. I wonder if she had a problem with her. I think she had a part of this.
Not my sweetheart. She's a doll.
So they called her up and said, "Hey, we're shorthanded. We want to take you with the team to the next game." And again, just to show you how quick this all moved, they had no uniform for her. She said the uniform they gave her was a XXX. This girl is tiny. Right. 120 pounds, 130 pounds maybe.
Yes. Go on.
Oh boy, put your Liam Neeson cock away. But she even said that the pants, they had a triple roll them to make. We are so bad.
Oh, is this my stop?
But she went. She was a pinch runner for that game. This and that.
I'll pinch her runner.
The following season, which was this upcoming season,
I'd like to have been the coach for that game. She would have got a hell of a lot of good game. Is that wrong? Oh, sorry. I'm starting to sound like Joe Biden now.
I was gonna say.
I like the way you run.
So before this season started, she was out with her mother, just like they always do, school, shopping, whatever, and Mother got a phone call from the same doctor, said, got to come in. Doctor walked into the room, that same disappointed look, and Stevie knew something was wrong. By this point in her life, she's 21 years old. She has a pacemaker in her chest now, and the doctor said, you got to do one more surgery. Now, this girl is up to like 6 or 7 surgeries that I read, all for her heart.
All jokes aside, pray for her, man. Oof.
Yeah, and kudos to this girl because diving for fly balls with a pacemaker in her chest. When I start reading this story, first thing I thought of was John Q, the movie, with that little boy running because he loved playing baseball. And the doctors told her when she was younger, you got to give up all your sports, soccer, everything. And she said, softball, I just would not give up. And she kept playing, and here she is.
Right.
And the doctor said, you got to have the surgery. It's not like, it is obviously like a life and death type situation, but it's not like she needed it right then and there. And she convinced the doctor that if he puts the surgery off until the playoffs are over, until she graduates, she'll scale back her training a little bit. Which, dude, I'm sorry. Me and you could take a lot.
She's got about 4 more years of eligibility, right?
No, this is her senior year.
Well, right, but she's only played 1 season.
No, she's been playing. When she was 18, she started calling them for the tryout.
Right. So who'd she play for?
UCLA the whole time.
How did she play for UCLA if she wasn't getting a tryout?
When she was 18, she called them to ask them for tryouts.
Right. They blew her off.
So
she didn't play.
So say a couple weeks later, they called. The article never said, okay, the following year she called for another one. Following year she called for another one. I just assumed that she was just a stubborn
she didn't
asshole.
play. She has eligibility.
Well,
hit grad school, sweetheart.
Yeah. So
she can play. I'm serious.
I didn't think it that way. I just took it as like she was.
Well, you're an idiot. 18. That's why I'm here. But go ahead.
But she convinced the doctor.
I'll give you personal coaching lessons.
Oh boy. Listen, we don't have a contract, so if something happens, I'm erasing the Twitter handle of all the shows that you're on, sir. Officer, I don't know. I don't have them out. Who? Shoulders who? But so she's putting off until graduation. UCLA is supposedly in contention for the World Series championship. Now, like I said, she's not a good player. She's not a starter. She's more of a pinch runner, and she only has 3 career at-bats, but 21 or 25 runs scored. So, she must run pretty good, and she's probably running away from you pretty good, too. But I just wanted to bring this up because, you look at some of these professional athletes. Oh, I got a broken fingernail. I can't play. Here's a girl that could die on the freaking field, and she wants to put it up because she wants to give back to UCLA and help them get to the championship.
Right. That's tough. I commend her, and she's brave, and God knows she's sexy. But, man, if I was her parent, that's tough for me. Oh, my God, I don't want to lose you. You know what I mean?
Take yourself out as a parent, but if you were her, would you... how do you mentally get yourself to that point to say, no, I want to put
it depends. I'd have to be in those meetings with the doctors and they tell me my probability. Is it something that can cause me to drop dead any second? Or listen, we can't leave this go for 16 months.
The way I read it, the doctor said, you got to get it done, but it's not, you're going to die tomorrow.
Right. So then, yeah, I'd let her play.
But, man, I'd be scared shitless. And even at 10 years old, when they say, hey, you can't play softball no more because you could die. Even as a 10-year-old, as a kid,
right.
That's got to be even...
That's tough, though. I'm thinking about my son, and even though he could die, I'd want him to be happy, though.
Yeah.
So, that's tough. That's double-edged.
Yeah. Oof. But, so before we go, we're actually... The Stanley Cup playoffs, I believe, started last night. Our
Stanley Cup playoffs started last night?
Oh, boy.
No, they started a month ago.
Listen, Lion Kugel, can we drop that 24-pack down to a 12-pack, please?
The finals?
The finals, yes. Started, I believe, last night. It's the Blues versus the Bruins. And if my calculations are correct, I've won every playoff round against shoulders here. I got everyone right. Even the round that the Flyers won.
Yeah. They won all right. They're in the finals, right?
Yeah, the finals on the couch next to
It's
Pittsburgh and Washington.
Pittsburgh versus Philly, right? Championship.
They're playing NCAA football right now. But I think me and you, we'll kind of make this probably quick, but me and you are going for the same team because we both hate the Bruins.
Right.
I'm going with the Bruins.
I don't hate the Bruins. I hate one prick.
And you know what?
He's the Rat Rock.
You've always said that about him. That's the reason why you don't like him, is how he plays and stuff like that. And I'm like, yes, he is very dirty. But what put the nail in the coffin for me was last round. I forget which game it was. The other team's player was down. Ref blew the whistle. Goalie covered up the puck. And he skated up behind the dude and punched him in the back of the head and skated away like a little bitch.
It's because that's what he is.
I'm like, first off, you should be suspended for punching the guy.
He should have been fucking kicked out of the league years ago.
Yeah. And then you're going to be a little bitch and fucking skate away like that?
Right.
So, yeah, no. Blues, I hope someone just put your shittiest player out there and say, just chase that asshole down.
Not only that, if you see that picture up there, you know who plays on the Blues, right?
Which one's that one?
Oscar Sundqvist.
Dude, I saw that. There's actually two of them.
That's signed.
There's two Wilkes-Barre guys up there. Mm-hmm. Sundqvist, I forget who the other one was.
Bartuso.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But I saw Sundqvist, I'm like, what? No.
Yeah, he's reliable, folks.
But, when we have our meet and greet, those years that Sundqvist was up there, he was a really cool player. He was nice. A little bit broken English.
I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him.
And you know what? Even the fiance, she was a little upset, and the oldest was upset when he got traded to the Blues. But that was the best thing for him, because you know yourself, he was buried by depth,
right?
With the Penguins, he was.
It's just
take a couple
amazing.
years.
I will say this, and I know you're a Flyers fan. And
no, I know where you're going to go with it, and I'm going to agree with you.
There is a great infrastructure within the Penguins, because if you look how many former Penguins players and former Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins players that were in the playoffs this year.
Not even that, but even I think it was at the end of last year, the Penguins had so many decisions with wingers because they were so deep, and they had obviously they traded Sundqvist and they had a lot
I
of
like
them
to go deep
on Stevie.
Shh, my wife's listening.
But yeah, no, I'm rooting for the Blues, and also when Braden
Blues.
Shen was with the Flyers, I liked him. I understood why we traded him away, but I was upset because he was very good with our power play.
I also want to see the Blues win their first.
Yeah, and I just don't want Boston to win.
Yeah.
Just because of that
Homo
asshole. Homo asshole. Nah, that didn't work. I was trying to bounce off words
This
there.
is politically correct show. Okay, I'm fucking offended.
I could have kept going. Fuck that. So, but yeah. So,
well, we
I got the Blues. I think this might be a 7-game series, though. I don't think it's gonna be a
I hope
sweep.
so for entertainment purposes.
Yeah.
But
So
I'd rather be a 4-0 fucking St. Louis sweep, actually.
that would be really nice.
Just to really watch.
Oh wait, actually, I saw something about that too. So
did you? Where'd you see that? On drunk.com?
No, StayTunedSports.com.
Oh.
No, Penguins got swept by the Islanders. Islanders got
It
swept.
was a pop-up ad to smallpenises.org.
Damn it. Damn it, Kevin. But yeah, every team, the Penguins got swept by the Islanders got swept. Every team that got swept the other team, the following round, they got swept. So, Bruins are up next.
Right.
Did you like my lead there?
I did.
Ooh, yeah.
I got a surprise for you, though. So, yeah, I got a surprise for you this week. I have a special guest, and he's straight from Miami. What's up, Big Hit Rob?
What's going on, fellas?
Robbie!
Robbie!
You piece of
What's
shit.
going on?
How's the weather down there, you prick?
Well, boys, tomorrow I'm going to the beach. Have a couple of Coronas in your name.
Aw.
No, we don't drink that shit beer.
Yeah, that's right. You drink what you drink? Yingling, nasty fucking...
Nope.
Leinenkugel Summer Shandy.
Even fucking
Negative.
But if Corona wants to
Should've told me
endorse
Natty
us,
Ice or something.
Natty Ice. Now that's too gangster.
come on, man.
Bro. That's the Bronx in you talking.
What's going on, boys? How you boys doing?
Not bad. How are
Pretty
you?
good.
How's the family?
Well, everything's good, boys. I mean, I haven't spoken to you boys since, I haven't spoken to you, Bernie, since your Penguins went down
Right.
in,
Well, it's because of the
the
baby.
playoffs.
Yeah.
You notice how
I
he
didn't get a chance. I didn't get a chance to get your reaction on that series. You know,
Did you get the chance to get the reaction for Jim here in his Flyers series?
Jim like me, we're Rangers fans. We're used to the disappointment.
I'll tell you what, and I said at the beginning of the season, I didn't think we were going to make the playoffs, so I was surprised of how it ended.
The Carolina Hurricanes
Yeah.
gave it all they could. Good for them.
Yeah. What's your pick for the final with the Boston and St. Louis?
With
The Blues.
with the Boston and St. Louis.
Yeah. That's what I said.
Well, I think I'm rolling with St. Louis. I don't hate to see the Bruins win. To be honest with you, I hate the city of Boston. I hate to see those motherfuckers win another championship.
Right. I keep thinking about what was Wedra's friend's name? The big Blues fan that we played hockey with.
Oh, Jerry.
Jerry's probably ecstatic. Jerry
Yeah. Jerry's probably going crazy over there on the farm.
All the pigs on the farm probably died. He's been taking care of them.
Yeah, well, how about you boys? You boys rolling with St. Louis?
Yeah.
I'm going St. Louis because I'd like to see them to win their first. And we were just talking that I don't mind Boston, but I can't stand Brad Marchand or Rat Boy or Fuckface, whatever his name
Little
is.
rat bastard.
Yeah. So
He's a little dirty bastard, that little rat bastard.
he is.
That
But you
I
know
agree
what?
with.
But you know what, O'Brien? You and I know that if that little rat bastard was in your Pittsburgh Penguins, you'll love that little rat.
No, I wouldn't. No, you're wrong.
You're a lying sack of
No, I would not. I promise you this: if he ever gets to the Penguins, I will boycott every season he plays.
That Robbie.
God, that never happens. We have, thank God we have recordings here, boys.
I was
That's right.
just about to say that. We have that on file now.
Yeah, Jim, come on, you know I would never. Yeah, I just told him that if Nadamika dickhead Sue came to the Philadelphia Eagles, I'd be so pissed I'd boycott. So.
Yeah, talking about you Eagles, I saw your boy Carson Wentz started throwing the ball healthy again.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
looking good. He's connecting with D-Jax and no brace. They said it's making a difference. So.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles, man, they got Deshaun Jackson back. Motherfucker.
Right.
God, he's a giant killer. Always have been.
Right.
Yeah, what was that that play that he did? It was a punt return.
Well, we gotta be talking about old shit here, Jim. You're
Miracle in the middle
I
wins.
mean,
Dos.
Jesus Christ, you sound like my kid. He plays me that video on YouTube all the time. And he wants to
That's
make
why I
fun.
like your son.
He'll pull out that Deshaun Jackson muff fumble, taking it to the house to break the heart. Never
Right.
forget it. I was watching that game.
And all your punter had is one job. Don't punt it to him.
Well, the worst part about that is he muffed it. I mean, Jesus,
Yeah.
jump on it. Somebody, kick it.
Kick it. Oh, I thought I was playing soccer, senor.
Yeah,
What?
little United States soccer, women's soccer. I don't really watch women's soccer like that, but I do root for.
I have to
US
admit, it's
all
the only
time.
soccer I watch.
Well, you boys got to remember this too. The females are the only ones that actually win something because the guys suck.
Yeah,
They-
it's been
They
a
win
long,
my
long
hearts
time.
every time they play.
Of course they do. It's too bad they didn't qualify last one.
Right. How do you feel about, speaking of the Giants, we'll get it here. How do you feel about your quarterback predecessor from Duke?
Boys, I'll be honest with you. I see Dwayne Haskins.
Haskins, yeah.
That's why he didn't come there. You guys can't pronounce his name.
No. This is well. Listen, not for nothing. I started to think this could either be, and I'm a you guys know I root for the Giants, Big Blue. But I was starting to think maybe that was a black and white thing because I was trying to remember a black quarterback that started for the Giants, and No, I can't come up with one.
I can't
Yeah.
come up with one ever.
But what I'm trying to say is, I think that kid from Washington, he's going to punish the Giants twice a year. Giants
You
made
think?
a mistake. Look, yeah, the kid Jones. You know, from what I hear, he's like a Manny. You know, and I mean Manny, like Peyton Manning and Eli Manning prodigy.
Yeah.
And you know, hopefully he's just a Peyton Manning prodigy. But,
Right. Well, hey, Eli won you 2 Super Bowls. I don't want to hear
Listen.
it.
did, you know, he did. And the one thing I could, you know, and I think no quarterback could say this. I believe Eli's 2-0 against Tom in the Super Bowl. Only
Yes.
quarterback
Yeah.
that can say that.
Only one other quarterback has a undefeated record against them in the Super Bowl, and that's Foles.
Oh, I thought that was Carson Wentz.
Yeah,
He has a
well,
half a win.
That was recently. You talked to me false if he takes care of them this year.
I'm praying for Foles this year. I'll be down in Jacksonville.
But yeah, I was gonna tell you, I'll probably go check out Jacksonville. I'll take the drive.
Right.
Yeah,
I'll have to meet you down there.
You know, going back to that Daniel Jones. Honestly, you know, I hope it works out because you know, when you're picking a guy that high, I mean, and you know, people speculate all the time that this kid was still going to be on the boards and all this. Who knows?
Right.
What I do know is that I think the Giants didn't take the best quarterback in this draft. And I think the kid from Ohio State was the best quarterback.
Right, but maybe they
right
took
now.
the best quarterback for them.
Yeah.
Well, look,
So, Robbie.
and then I'll tell you boys this too. I mean, look, not to get on the black and white stuff, but I mean,
Well, you're in
black
between.
quarterbacks don't really throw the ball good. I mean, they're mostly runners and.
Whew. Let's
I don't know,
stress here, folks, that he's of darker color and from the Bronx. Email all hate to him.
Hey, listen, you know,
I'm pro Doug Williams.
Hey,
I love you, Doug.
I think of the black and white thing. I wanted a Dwayne in the team.
Right.
So, Robbie.
But honestly, I mean, look, I go back to even when the Giants traded Odell. I mean,
Right.
think about this, boys. I mean, what team has won a Super Bowl with a wide receiver diva? You know, like recently.
Right.
You know, like Antonio Brown. You know, I thought he won a Super Bowl with Pittsburgh. I was wrong. He hasn't won jack with Pittsburgh.
Right. He came in right after, right?
Pittsburgh won all those Super Bowls when right before he got there.
Right.
Pittsburgh hasn't won anything since. Yeah, they made the playoffs, but haven't won anything.
Right.
I mean, look at Calvin Johnson, not great talent. Detroit
Yeah.
wasted.
Yeah.
Andre Johnson, Calvin Johnson.
Larry Fitzgerald hasn't
Right.
won anything. I mean, Julio Jones hasn't won anything. I mean, and these guys are not. They're not. You know, these guys I'm talking about. They weren't diva like Odell and Antonio Brown, but I mean,
Right.
it just seems like you know a number one wide receiver doesn't get it done. I mean, look at Brady. Jesus Christ, I think the guy hasn't had a number one wide receiver
Right.
since Randy Moss,
Yeah.
Right.
and they didn't win the Super Bowl that year, boys.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Robbie, let me ask you, though. Getting back to the Jones quarterback pick. Everybody says that the Giants reached for him. He could have been there in the 3rd round. If he wins the Super Bowl, does it really freaking matter?
Honestly, that's all that matters with this pick, with the Giant organization right now. If you think about it, look, the GM David Gettleman. I don't know no GM that is in a hotter seat than this guy going into this season. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I don't know if the Mara family has the patience for the Giants to keep struggling because that's all I see right now. I see just another mediocre season, maybe 4 wins, 5 wins this year.
Yeah.
And if they're going to be satisfied with that, hey, I mean, Jesus. I mean, honestly, if that's the way you were going to go, I would not even draft the quarterback this year. I would have waited for next year. Maybe, you know, get fucking the Alabama kid or
Tua.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
You know,
I know.
it's just it's like not for nothing, boys. It's like again, it goes back like Jim said. If this kid wins a Super Bowl, we're not going to be talking about
right.
this.
Right. But my thing is, too, is I agree with you. I don't know how the ownership's going to go. I do know this about the Giants organization. They do have passionate fans. And the other thing I do know, because I have friends with season tickets, is their ticket prices are goddamn high. So they're one of the higher in the NFL. So you're not going to show up and pay that money to watch them lose.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got these. I mean, the Giants are a consider them a big, New York Giants, big market team,
Right.
New York City, even though they play in Jersey. But, the pressure's going to be, can this kid Daniel Jones handle the pressure even in New York? I mean, this kid's played at Duke. Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't even the best thing coming out of Duke this year. How about that, boys?
Well, I mean, the argument would be, what about Joe Flacco coming out of Delaware?
Yeah.
Well, that's another interesting decision. The Broncos didn't decide
Right.
to draft a quarterback. They decided to go with Flacco and
Then go Drew Lock.
roll the dice.
Yeah, that dude really slipped.
Lock looked good.
Yeah.
I'm impressed to see what he's going to do.
Flacco's a Super Bowl MVP. No, boys?
Right.
He's a
Yeah.
Super Bowl
Right.
MVP.
Right. But he came out of Delaware College. So, I mean, another small school, and he did well. So, it's tough to say.
Again, I mean, these small, like you said, I mean, these small teams, I don't really consider Duke a small university, but, I mean, when we're talking about football, I mean, we don't...
For football,
Yeah,
yeah.
football,
Duke,
they are.
I mean, we're talking about Duke College, their basketball team, but...
Basketball and
their
baseball.
team.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, boys, I mean, honestly, I've been a little... I gotta say, depressed with what's been going on, but...
Yeah, we've been there before, buddy.
Well, welcome to how we felt during Chip Kelly years.
We got a lot of young players, and I look forward to seeing what training camp and seeing what these kids can do in preseason.
Right. I mean, that's what it comes down to. We'll see. It's any given Sunday, I mean, I'm telling you what. I am anxious for two other teams besides the Eagles this year. I want to see how Foles does in Jacksonville. I'm going pro Jacksonville, and it's easier because they're in the AFC. And people think I'm nuts, but as much as the drama show as it is, I want to see how good the Browns do.
I got like 5 wins.
Yeah, it should be interesting with the Browns. I mean, look, they got a super team, and
Right.
they're talented. They're talented at pretty much all the good positions you want to be talented at: running back, wide receiver, tight end,
Right.
and even the offensive line is not bad.
Now, Jimbo here.
They got two good running backs too, and when they get Kareem Hunt back,
Right.
I mean, they're going to be lock and loaded. And the one thing I'll tell you is, did you say the Jaguars you're interested in too?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it should be interesting to see how Nick Foles. Last time he left Philly, wasn't great for his career. I mean,
Yeah, I think.
sure,
Well,
he messes up. Jeff Fisher messes up any good quarterback.
right. That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. I blame that all on Fisher. He was
Yeah.
a joke.
But hey, you know what? The Jaguars. I mean, they're pretty. I mean, they got Tom Coughlin up there running the show. So
Right.
Foles will definitely be in good hands, boys.
All right. Well, now that I have
Fournette's got to get
another
his head out his ass too.
neutral.
Hey, real quick, boys. I just wanted to ask you guys something before I forget. I don't know if you guys heard, but that Prescott is about to get paid, and there's been rumors out there that the Cowboys are about to pay him about $30 million a year. You guys think this guy's a $30 million quarterback?
No.
Hell no.
No.
That's why I'm hoping they do it.
Right. I want
Yeah,
Dak to stay there. I want Dak to stay there so Philly can be dominant for decades.
Look, boys. I mean, look. I said the same thing. He's not worth 30, but the kid's worth some money. I mean,
I'm not going to say he
he's
shouldn't
worked
do.
he's worked that rookie contract. Definitely. I mean, not no 30 million. I agree with you, but
I say more like 10 to 12.
Well, okay. I was going to be a little generous, say about 20.
These quarterbacks always get paid, good money.
Right.
I was thinking maybe 15 should be good for him.
Right.
I think 20 is too much, but
So let me ask you. I need another neutral party here. The Browns have been an argument between me and Jimbo for a couple shows. He has them predicted at 5 or less wins. I said 9 or more wins.
Plus a playoff appearance.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, boys. I was telling my next door neighbor to shut the hell up. I didn't hear that question.
No fighting. I said, I need another neutral party because you seem to be right in between all of our predictions all the time. Jimbo here, we've been talking for weeks about the Browns, and he's saying religiously, and hey, sticking to his convictions, that he will have 5 or less wins for the season, and I'm calling 9 or more with the playoffs.
Ooh, well, look, I'm stuck in between both of you guys. I can see where Jim thinks, thinking 5 or less because you gotta go out there and play as a team, and it might
Exactly.
not click the first year. And
Right,
I can see where you see 9 or 10 wins, Burn. gonna say 8 to 9 wins, and I'm gonna say playoffs.
Woo!
And I'm gonna say that the AFC North is not gonna be strong this year, boys.
Right.
I think maybe maybe a team with not even a 500 record gets in the playoffs.
Right.
I
I think Pitt might explode this year. Like, I think they're going to implode, and the Dog Pound has a chance. I do.
All right, I'll make a deal with both of you guys then.
Oh, here we go. He's been drinking, so brace yourself.
So Robbie, you're going with basically 9 wins, like Bernie too, right?
Yeah, Jimmy.
All right. So if the Browns get 9 wins or more,
Brother, come on.
I won't even say a playoff appearance. 9 wins or more, I'll buy each of you a bottle. Well, I'll buy Robbie you a bottle of liquor. Shoulders, you don't really drink liquor, so I'll buy you a case of Leinenkugel Summer Shandy, Leinenkugel, if you want to endorse us. And
I'm still waiting for my signed Bulls jersey.
but if
Don't trust this kid. He's like a Marchand.
if the Browns win 8 or less, you guys both buy me a bottle of proper 12.
But how much does that cost?
25.
Sure.
Oh, sure. I'm down.
That's Robbie, your liquor is 25 or less.
I go back to what I said before. Thank God we have recordings of these,
Right.
conversations.
This will be archived, I promise.
Yeah. So I don't want to hear excuse from Jim after the Browns are heading into a like I said, and I think somebody gets in there with a not a 500 record, so
right.
they're definitely not going to get a first round bye. So
Yeah.
on Wild Card Weekend, we'll definitely be talking to Jim and expecting to be.
Now let's make this clear though. When the Browns do tie this year, all bets are off.
Well, how about this, Jim? When the Browns are, from what you're saying, officially eliminated from playoff contention, you'll go ahead and have your. I know you'll have your bottle. Right there,
All right.
Well, I mean, it's always a pleasure talking to you, brother. Hopefully we can get you back on religiously. We like our Miami connection.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, boys. I mean, right now everything's growing. I got my mangoes are growing, my avocados are growing,
Nice.
my lime tree's going. Everything's growing right now, boys. It's hot.
You sound like a girl.
So is the fans' love for you.
The birds are fucking.
Woo!
Are you taking pictures?
Actually, I actually did. I'm gonna send it to you, boys. I took a
Yeah!
picture, and I sent it to my wife, and I said, "Jesus, somebody's scoring around here." True story, boys. True story.
All right, brother.
All right, bud.
It's always a pleasure. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, brother. You boys take care. Take care. All right.
All right,
Be
see you,
safe,
Rob.
buddy. Bye.
All right, boys. Take it easy.
Well, it's another great episode, folks. We love our call-ins. Well, I do especially. Good show, good topic, and I appreciate everybody listening. Again, we'd like you to go on YouTube and just follow our page to get us a little more exposure. So even if you liked 1 or 2 of our shows, if you could just subscribe, I want to have a chance to spread it to more people and give them a chance to listen. I'd appreciate it. Again, thanks from... I'm going to change my name to O'Brien.
Okay.
Like everybody calls me, it should be.
Before we go, though, because we had our 1-year anniversary 2 weeks ago, so you weren't able to be on it. Do you want to say anything to the fans for sticking around? And
Well, I can't give them 1 year for me yet because I've only been here 2 months. So,
but you were
Maybe 3
always part of the family because you were helping me.
Well, no, I just want to spread it and have more of a conversation. I'd like to get more of a reaction in between.
Yeah.
Like I like more interaction from anybody that listens. I'm not going to call them fans. We can all be equals.
Yeah.
I don't want to diminish anybody, but thanks for anybody that's tuned in. I appreciate it. Anybody that's liked or subscribed, thank you from the bottom of my heart. That's it. I mean, thank you to everybody.
All right. Well, before we go, like I said, you can head over to Twitter. Follow the show at ST Sports Podcast. Follow my personal one, which I'm very rarely on. I'm always on the show one. My personal one's Jimbo ST Sports. Head over to Teespring. We have one shirt there right now. Just look up Stay Tuned Sports. It's one of our older logos. Just the kind I was just fooling around with it. We're working on logos. I promise within the next, I'm hoping, month or so, we'll have it out, and then we'll have it on T-shirts, iPhone cases. Like Teespring has a lot of stuff that we could put Stay Tuned Sports all over the place. So with that being said, guys, thanks for tuning in. Till next time, this is your good friend Jimbo.
Shoulders, bro, but I am known as O'Brien. Love yous.